Welcome back to Zoller's Tip of the Week. My name is Matt Brothers, and this week's Tip of the Week is measuring an included angle. So when we measure included angles, we can do this in three different ways. We can either do it as a best fit as a window, we can do it as an intersection point across the angle, or we can even specify a distance from one point to another. It really just kind of depends on what type of process that you want to follow to measure that angle. So let's check out those three different methods. So taking a look here in our software, the first one that I want to follow is going to be our measuring program 36. So what we do is that we specify where we want to measure, select our measuring mode, and put our nominal angle. But then we need to determine what type of shape are we looking for here. So generally with your inserts, that's basically going to concentrate on these three different options. But for in this example here, what we're going to be doing is we'll be measuring a drill. So we can specify the included angle and then also measure a corner. Or if we just want to measure just on the angle, we can specify this option here. So generally what I like to do when I'm doing point angles, I like to use the opening angle side so I can actually reference that intersection point later on. What this is going to do is going to take your measuring window and provide a best fit across that line there. We'll focus in on the edge, rotate the cutting edge past center with our Crisp 360, and then give us our angle. Okay. So now we can see this output of almost 138 degrees. Now our next option that we're going to investigate is going to be utilizing measuring program 145. So with this one here, what we have is actually two inputs, a point on the corner and then any particular gauge point that you want to specify. Now in this example here, I'm actually going to go to the intersection where the drill point and the gash intersect. So our first point here is going to be on the corner. Software defaults to cutter shape 7, which picks up that point. And then what we'll do here, we'll move up to that intersection of those two angles. Select our cutter shape 54. Tell the machine to measure there. Again, we're going to do the partial crisp. And if we wanted to, we can do as our angle, say 38, and plus or minus 1. And as with the graphic here, with the different options that I select, you can see we have two different outputs for included angle measurements. I'm going to go ahead and do angle inside option. So how does it look? So process is very similar. Going to focus in on the corner, do our crisp, and then capture our intersection point. Then the next point here, again, we'll perform the crisp measurement and then snap to that intersection point. Now, between those two intersection points, now we have our included angle on our point. Now let's go over the third method. So the third method can actually be beneficial to where maybe if we're trying to measure the angle across of a chamfer. So what is the angle going to be produced on the actual part? So maybe I only have like about a 30 thou depth worth of cut. Well, I want to be able to measure the cutting tool to the exact same parameters that the part is going to be measured on. So what we do here is that with our measuring program 149, we'll go to the corner and select that as my first starting position. And then we have here, as you can see, is our delta measurement. So we're going to be doing about a 30 thousandths depth. Again, if we wanted to do our crisp angle. And then we can also specify our output. Again, like with the previous measuring program, we're going to be doing the inside angle. So the operation is, we'll go ahead and focus on the corner and snap that intersection point. So now, across that whole scan, it then moved 30 thousandths in and then measured the point. So that concludes this week's Tip of the Week. I encourage you to please visit myzoller.com to look for more Tip of the Week videos and also other video and content that we have available for you. Please follow in all of our social media And until then, see you next time.